Hello everyone, welcome to House Proud. This video is an organization video wherein I will be showing you how I organize this small hutch in my kitchen. Brace yourselves for the scary sight. So this is how it looks right now. This is almost a month-long ignorance of the space. This hutch houses all my empty plastic and metal storage containers on the top shelf and my baking supplies on the bottom, though all my containers seem to be everywhere. Firstly, before starting, I have placed an old bedsheet just below the cabinet on the floor so I can directly empty all the containers onto the sheet. So let's begin. As you can see, all the containers are out. I don't store my glass containers along with my plastic and metal ones. I have separate shelf to store all my glassware. Next very important step would be to categorize the containers. It would be easier if you segregate the containers according to the purpose they serve. For example, tiffins, leftover food storage containers, grocery containers, zippers, etc. Do remember to declutter the containers and purge the ones that aren't required. So here I have segregated the containers, though it might not appear so. This portion with all the pink lock and lock containers is the leftover food storage section. The big, the small, the tiny ones, all of them. The middle portion are my daughter's and husband's tiffins. And here are some takeout containers that I retain for some play dates to give away cookies and cake. I have also set aside the containers that aren't mine. Some of them are my mom's and some are my cousins who had parceled some sumptuous food for me in them and which I am yet to return. Here are some baskets in different sizes that I have and will be using to organize the containers. I plan to use the biggest organizer for all the lock and lock containers. All these months I have been using the lid on the box system. However, considering the space and the number of containers, I think it would be practical to switch to the open stacking system with lids arranged separately. Similarly, the medium one holds all the tiffins and lunch boxes. As I have to give my daughter 3 different snack boxes for her day at school, it's better to have them all in one place, so once I'm ready to pack, I can just draw out the basket and start packing. Here is an overview of the arrangement of the first organizer holding all the food storage containers. Just stack them into a pile, size and shape wise, with lids resting just behind them and fitting the tiny ones in the gap that remains. The same arrangement with the lunch and snack boxes. Here I have also put in 2 small lunchbox containers that my husband carries to office. I came across this lunchbox online and I found it extremely useful and thought I'd share it with you. It comes with this bag that has 2 heating plates. Just place the containers on them and plug it into a socket and the food heats up in 20 to 30 minutes. And it is a compact spill-proof zipper pouch. It also has a small light indicator. Isn't it the most convenient takeaway lunchbox? In this small organizer, I have arranged a couple of plastic tiffins that my daughter just refuses to part with. I haven't bought many plastic lunch boxes for her as I prefer giving her steel containers, but as I couldn't find a Moana in the steel, she refuses to let go of this one. I have also stored a couple of other plastic flat boxes that I use as carry-along snack box for the car and a couple of zippers too. Among the other containers that I decided to retain, these are a few that I use only to refrigerate my marinated meat and fish. And finally, it's the arranging time. As you can see, the baskets slide in and out of the cabinet very easily, and all the containers are easily accessible. After placing all the organizers, there's still some space left, and here I put in a stack of a few square containers that I occasionally use to store excess pulses and other groceries. To ensure that I don't lose the lids, I have placed all the lids in the topmost container. After that, I slide in the meat containers and a single screw cap jar that is a part of a pack of 6, 5 of which are in the refrigerator. Atop that, I put this onion saver, and there's just enough place to store the lemon saver. I find these specific veggie savers really useful, as when you open the refrigerator you can readily spot them, and that minimizes wastage. So here's what we started with. And this is how far we've come. This is only part 1 of the video. I will also be arranging my baking supplies in the next one.